The rules are simple.
Every week, we watch a new movie.
Then, we discuss it.
Welcome to Weekly Cinema. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Weekly Cinema. I'm your host, Gabe Late, here with my co-host,
McKenna Coleman.
And for today's episode, a very special guest.
Hi, I'm Ava Lonchar, also known as Average YouTuber. I do a couple things for Pixel Pug's channel. It's nice to see y'all.
Yeah, a long time. Well, I guess not super long time, but as of recently, has been a avid participant of the channel and a good friend of me and McKenna's. And she suggested, I think it was before we did the last episode. She suggested that. Oh, actually, no, it was like an hour after we recorded the last episode. She invited us over to watch one of her favorite movies of all time. And yeah, actually, you do the honors. Go ahead and introduce. What is the movie we're talking about today?
Okay, so the movie we'll talk about today, it's called Blues Brothers. It's 1985 movie. We're doing the 1985 version because this is one of my dad's favorite movies, and apparently what he told me is that the remake of it's like 2022 or something, or a remake. He said it sucks, so we're doing the better one with John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Awesome. All right. So I'm excited to talk about it. We all watched it together. Again, one of the few moments on the podcast when we actually do that. Last time we did that was Wonka, which didn't turn out so well.
We do this once a season.
That was also over at my house.
Yeah, and that was also over. Yeah. So we thought it'd be cool to have her on. We'll try and have more guests on the podcast like this in the future. That's for sure. But the season is coming close. I mean, it's been a short season, unfortunately. But let's see. Let me pull out my capybara calendar I got from Japan. What day is it? It is July 26th. So July 26th. So this will be the episode for this week. I'll try and edit and post this as fast as possible. So that means next week we'll have an episode. Then we will have another episode. And then another. Okay, so we'll have. It looks like 3 more solid episodes we're gonna have of the season.
What did you guys plan on watching? If you don't mind asking.
We will announce. We always announce at the end of the episode, so we're gonna announce what we're watching next week.
Okay.
At the end of the episode. But yeah, we're actually not sure what like the future episodes are. We always decide like on the spot before the podcast starts. So yeah. But today we're gonna talk about the Blues Brothers. Me and McKenna haven't seen it before we watched it, and we did. Now we're going to give our full-on thoughts, opinions, reviews, all of that. So tune on in, get ready, and let's do this.
All right, guys. So the movie that we're reviewing is The Blues Brothers. It was made. Actually, I was wrong before. It's 1980 is what it says when it was published, or at least on DVD. It might be 1985. I saw, and it was directed by John Landis. Who made another movie, but and the description for the movie is comedy icons John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd star in the outrageously funny musical comedy The Blues Brothers. After the release of Jake Blues from prison, he and his brother Elwood take their blues band back on the road in an attempt to raise money for the orphanage where they were raised. Havoc ensues as the brothers seek redemption on their mission from God. That's the description.
Oh, I love that line. So it looks like John Landis also directed an American Werewolf in London, Trading Places,
That's crazy,
Animal House.
I love Animal House.
Yeah, that's what it says on the back. It says National Lampoon's Animal House on the back.
Yep, and then Coming to America, which is really cool. Oh, and then wait, hold on. No way. Oh, no, he didn't. Okay. Apparently, he's an actor or something because he has a sort of credit in the Clue movie. The 1985 Clue movie.
Really? I love that movie.
John Landis Clue. I wonder what he did. Directed by Jonathan Lynn. But what did he do? So if you look up John Landis, the Clue movie pops up, which is weird.
Oh.
So maybe he's a cast member or a writer? I don't know. Oh,
Yeah,
wait. Duh, Jonathan Lynn Oh wait, no, yeah. John Landis. Okay, so he wrote it. So he helped write Clue with the director.
Oh, that's
That's
awesome. No
cool.
wonder I like it so much.
Mm-hmm. I know, that's pretty neat. Um, so yeah, pretty cool. Classic movie. I actually, for it being like such a like I don't know if it's really I haven't heard about this movie until you told me about it. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, really?
Um, my dad has never seen the movie. My mom has though, and a few of my family members have. So it's some people know it, but it's not as big of a classic movie as you
Yeah,
would think.
it's not a huge thing, but like I didn't hear about it until my dad told me about it, and then he had me
Right,
watch
right,
it.
right. Yeah, so I this doesn't have like a huge, massive cult following, but I'm surprised because Dan Aykroyd, I mean,
Yeah,
he's a big actor from that time. He was in Ghostbusters, and a lot of other classics. I don't know. I guess this movie just didn't hit as well for a lot of people, but those who did see it absolutely loved it, as I guess we'll get into. But yeah, so let's give our quick reviews. We're each going to give our review out of 10 and then give a thumbs up or thumbs down and then tell us why we liked it or not. So we'll let the guest start. Ava, go ahead.
all right. So this movie, I had to put a lot of thought into rating because no movie is ever perfect. I don't think there's no such thing as a perfect movie. So it was hard giving it a rating, but I would say it's like a 9.5 for me because like it's not my favorite movie of all time. Like it's not up there with like Back to the Future, which is my favorite movie of all time, favorite new musical too.
Mm.
But I'd have to give it 9.5 out of 10 just because I don't really know. There's just something, I feel like something was missing from it in a way. But everything, like the humor was good. Humor was hilarious. There was a bunch of car chases, which I love car chases. Classic. Um, and there's music, and I love music. So I think that's a thumbs up from me.
Thumbs up, yeah. I gotta agree with you on the car chase. I mean, that had to be one of the greatest car chases I've ever seen in a movie.
It's
That
just
was
so
just
ridiculous as well. That's why
the cars.
I love
Yeah,
it.
they just
It
came
doesn't
out of
make any,
nowhere. Oh
it
no, they
doesn't
don't.
it doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense sometimes, but they still make it work.
I know. It's actually it's incredible. I love it. All right, McKenna, what did you think?
Um, I'm gonna have to say like a 8.5 out of 10.
That's good. Why do you say that?
I think the movie, it was good. It was funny. There was just like any movie ever, it has some boring scenes. It has some dry scenes.
Yeah.
And I feel like almost all movies have that, but that docks it down for me a little bit. I think it was absolutely like a great movie with the how ridiculous it was, how funny it was. But I think that it deserves an 8.5 and a thumbs up rating.
Like yeah, I totally agree with your points. And can I make a point myself is that like in later versions of the movie, like when we were watching the movie, like when I rented it on Prime, there were some scenes that I did not remember watching. Like I think I watched it mostly on TV when it like went on air and stuff. So
Mm.
there's some scenes they like cut out of it that like were either too boring or went on too long or didn't matter. Like there were some musical segments that were not that important that went on for a little too long in my opinion, and it just kind of got boring to me. And
Hmm.
which is really weird because I usually don't get bored of movies like that when there's musical segments.
Well, there
Right. Yeah.
are normally like extended versions of movies or like extended
That's what I was
cut
about to
or
say. Yeah.
like director's version and stuff
Hmm.
like that. And some stuff does get cut out that's not in those that are on TV or vice versa.
Yeah. Any scenes
So
that just isn't necessary for moving the plot along, they usually cut out. Um, But yeah, maybe we saw like the director's. I mean, maybe you saw the director's cut that one time. I don't know. Maybe it's some
I'm
extended version.
I'm pretty sure that's what it's like on the DVD that I have here because I've never seen those scenes before. I'm really not sure.
Hmm.
It says extended versions on as well. It's
Ah,
in,
okay. So
then maybe I just watched the director's cut.
Maybe. Interesting. And yeah, I gotta agree with you, McKenna, because, but I mean, it's such a common thing. If you watch any '80s movie or any either set even '70s, '90s, any movie before the 2000s, even some 2000s movies, it seemed to be like a big theme back then. I feel as of recently, film has become a lot more adaptive to people having a low attention span. If
Yeah.
you've noticed. But back in the day, I mean, I can't really think of any movies right now that I have. There's definitely some that I could think of. Like, even like some great movies, like right there I'm looking at Jaws or Jumanji, Forrest Gump. They all have those scenes where it's just like, okay, this is like kind of slow. But I don't know. It was just kind of like the thing back then. They were so just natural, and sometimes there were scenes that they felt had to be in there, even though nowadays you would never put that in a movie. It's just interesting how film has changed as a whole.
I can agree with that as well. Because I can think of like a couple movies, basically just this kind of series that my dad recently also introduced to me. He introduces a lot of good movies. It's the Rambo series, so made by Sylvester Stallone. He
Mm-hmm.
specifically had me watch the second movie first because he said it was better than the first one, because the first one has a lot of dialogue and a lot of boring scenes, which wasn't a
Mm.
problem to me when I watched it after I watched the second one. The second one's awesome though. It has a lot of action, which is what makes it good. It's not a
Right,
lot of
right, right. But I'm assuming that first one is just really dialogue heavy because it has to introduce you to the character of
lot
Rambo.
of exposition, yeah.
Yeah, so it has to tell you the story, it has to give you all the details. I mean, that makes sense. That goes for any movie. I feel like we've talked about a movie here, McKenna, before where we're like a movie series. I think Batman it was actually. Was it? Where we're like the first movie we didn't like because it was really long and boring because it was explaining the
Yeah.
Batman story. Yeah, but then the other two were really good because it was action packed. Yeah, yeah. It seems a lot of series and movies do that, but
It's just
you
like
have
I
to.
think it's the basic setup, like you said, that they have to
Yeah.
introduce you to the characters, the plot, setting, everything, and just get you adapted to what the movie is actually going to be, and then adapt the series farther than that, and then you get the action later on.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. So my quick review, I'm going to give an 8 out of 10. I really, really liked it. And Ava, it might seem like it's like I'm giving points off, but actually, that's really high for the podcast. We've given a lot of different movies a lot of different ratings. But I'm
Especially
just putting
Wonka
it.
with a 3.
Yeah, Wonka got very low. But
Well, it's your opinion, so I don't
no,
care.
of course. Yeah, I'm just letting you know, like, to explain why I did that. 8 is just, of course, just to have it on a scale comparatively to others. It'll be interesting if we, like, went back. Maybe I could do this before the next episode so we could look at it, McKenna. But it's interesting if we could go back and look at all the previous episodes from this season and last season and put all our ratings down and see how they compare, like, how we compared each movie. See what was our
I like we could
absolute
put it down
favorite.
on a document, I
Yeah,
think.
that'd be interesting. Or maybe we should start scoring that on this document right here, actually. Probably should start doing that. But I think I gave, like, The Shining a 10 out of 10 and stuff. There's a bunch of different movies.
Really good.
Yeah, it's a really good movie. But no, the reason I put the Blues Brothers there is actually not because I don't find anything wrong with it. It's just, I've explained this multiple times throughout the podcast. It's just what movies I'm into. I think the same way, Ava. I don't think a movie could be perfect. No movie is perfect. But every movie is personal to that director. And I feel like every director makes those decisions, whether, to actually add to their story or not. It's just their style. Wonka was a different story because there's stuff that was just actually like bad and you could tell they're trying to do something different. But every movie, I feel like the director's trying to do something and they're trying to do it this way. It's not that it's like bad, it's just that the director purposely did it in that way so you could, it's their style. So like this movie, when everyone was flying in the air and the cars were flying in the air. That was the funniest thing I've ever seen, and it's such a bold thing because this movie going into it doesn't really look like it's gonna be like a super
Oh,
wacky movie like that.
I didn't expect that either when I first watched it.
Yeah, yeah, but it comes out of nowhere and it surprises you, and that's comedy. I mean, comedy is the element of surprise, and I think that made it so much funnier. That's for sure. But no, I really liked the movie. I did. the other day I was about to like make I kept making references to it after we watched it. Like we were at different locations, and I was about to say, remember in this like remember in the movie where they did this? This kind of looks like that, but nobody I know has seen that movie, so I can never make that reference. But it's a good movie, and when a movie does that to me, that means it's good. That's for sure. So thumbs up. Yeah, 8 out of 10. I enjoyed it.
Well, I'm glad you both enjoyed it, and maybe I just rated a little high because at the same time I can't find anything specific. I had trouble naming anything that I could find wrong with it until like you guys brought up other points. But maybe it's just also because I'm not a professional movie reviewer. I'm not used to reviewing a lot of stuff. I try, and I probably do what other people do.
You're not professional either.
Trust me, we're not. Yeah, we
more professional than me.
We have been doing this for what is this? This is like our 13th total episode now, right?
Yeah.
And we are not professionals at this. So
all right. Well, I'm sure you guys will someday. It would be awesome to see.
That'd be cool. Yeah. We'll definitely keep doing this as long as we can, but we definitely get better at we definitely get better at expressing our opinions. That's for sure. But yeah, let's talk about actual critics, and this is my favorite part because
I'm interested to hear this. I've never looked at Rotten Tomatoes review.
Oh boy, and it's gonna be no surprise. All right, so I'm actually gonna talk about Google users. So out of all of the 3 critics that we look at, there's a 4th one, but it's not critics, it's people. You can actually just go on Google, put a thumbs up or thumbs down simply if you like the movie or not. And it has 88% liked this movie, Google users said. So that's like 85. Yeah, that's good. So that's closest to McKenna's right there. You're agreeing most with the audience. But IMDb gave it a total 7.9 out of 10. So that is closest to me. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 72%. Which is pretty good. I think that's still fresh, right? What is the criteria for like fresh Rotten Tomatoes? Because when a movie is like has a high Rotten Tomatoes rating, they say it's certified fresh for Rotten Tomatoes. Okay, right here. When at least 60% of reviews for a movie or TV show are positive, it is fresh stat. Okay, so it's fresh Rotten Tomatoes. So that means it's a good movie. But okay, then you have Metacritic. Who gave it a 60%.
Oh.
Why does Metacritic have to be so different?
What's Metacritic? I've never heard of that.
They always go like, no. You know what? I'm going to give it like a 40. I'm going to give it a 60. I'm going to give it, nope. You know what? 10.
Metacritic is either the most prestigious and like specifically I don't know, like talented film critics where they know exactly if a movie is good or not, or they're idiots. Because why every single movie we have seen on this podcast, Metacritic is the lowest rating.
Careful what you say. They might take this video down.
Metacritic are our ops. Just saying.
I want to see something.
Just saying.
What you looking up?
Oh, never mind.
We founded the Metacritic Hate Club, by the way.
That Metacritic rated really high, that we rated really low.
Wasn't it Wonka?
I looked at that, and it doesn't seem that way.
Oh.
There was a movie that we rated low, and their Metacritic was like the exact opposite for some reason. They just wanted to be special.
What did you guys rate Wonka again out of 10?
3. Like a 3.
Oh,
she gave it a 3. I gave it I think I gave it like a 6 or a 5.
Oh, wow. Those are low. I mean, I understand. I'd rate it was like a 6.5 for me, if I'm being honest. It wasn't terrible. It just wasn't my thing. I prefer the Gene Wilder version.
Yeah.
My favorite
because
one.
Here it says that for Wonka, Metacritic gave it a 66. That ain't that high.
Oh, that's not it then. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to I guess I'll have to look back. We'll have to do that. We'll have to get all of our previous reviews and ratings and stuff for sure.
Back to this movie. This is about Wonka.
But right, it's kind of it's not. I mean, I don't know how to explain it, Ava. I mean, you You would seriously have to watch every single episode to understand our struggle here.
All right, yeah,
Metacritic.
I haven't seen a lot of your episodes or
No,
listened to
that's. I mean,
your
that's
episodes.
fine.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but like,
No, no, I understand. It's just, I mean, you have to believe us here because Metacritic is unbelievable. I mean,
wow.
I don't understand. McKenna, the other day I was on Twitter and somebody was talking about Metacritic, and somebody mentioned, why does anybody, why does anybody like Metacritic? Why are they so? Because they're always so critical for no reason.
So negative.
They're always the outlier. I mean, it's the strangest thing I've ever seen. I think if you, oh God, if you saw a movie with 100% Metacritic rating, the world is ending. I mean, seriously, that's it. It's done.
Would that be a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know.
It would be
Honestly.
a strange thing. Yeah, I don't know if that would be good or bad. In that, actually, I don't know. All right, so now for our favorite part. This is when we really get into it. First, we're going to talk about specifically what we liked about the movie. What did the movie do right that you really enjoyed? Try your best to avoid talking about any negatives yet. Just straight up likes, not dislikes. We'll switch it up. McKenna, you can go first.
Oh wow. Okay.
Sorry, no warning there. I just shot it right at you. If you don't want to, you don't have to. It's fine.
No. I really like the humor in this movie, and I really like the way lines were delivered too, and how the actors specifically made the lines their own. Because I feel like some people have trouble doing that in movies, but this movie did that perfectly fine. Like you said, every director it's their own, and the actors it's their own too, with their lines and stuff. But I think they did that really well. I think the movie was really funny. I think the car chases were hilarious. Um, Especially with how many people they had coming after them at the end,
Mm-hmm.
with the whole like SWAT team, the cops, what Bob, the Illinois
good old boys.
Nazis,
Good old boys.
Yeah. Yep.
all of that. Oh yeah, and Princess
So
Leia,
good.
by the way, she's in this movie too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they got a lot of people going after them. I really think that's what I liked about this movie is how ridiculous it was, and how the humor was definitely a big part of it. As for dislikes, I'm gonna say again how some scenes were a little bit dry, but that's really again any movie kind of has that stuff. But that's really all I can say that I didn't like about it.
That's fair. Yeah. Ava, what did you like about the movie?
Okay, so like McKenna said earlier that I was going to bring up, one thing I like about the movie is that it's not afraid to like do anything that's like that doesn't make sense. It's not afraid to like be totally ridiculous and out there. Like they can have cars flying in the air and stuff, and they can have things totally not make sense that nothing would happen in the real world like this.
Mm-hmm.
So they can do that. It kept me engaged the whole time, which is what I like about a movie. If it can keep me engaged the whole time, it can keep me watching it, not make me bored of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like yeah, all the characters were great. Like yeah, basically yeah. I'm trying to think of like anything else. Because I have to go to dislikes. Because I'm trying to think of anything different. I'm trying to think of different stuff than you guys. But it's
Yeah, no, you're fine. You're fine. It's okay. And if you ever want to pitch into anybody's thoughts, go ahead. But you don't have to think about dislikes right now if you don't have any. But if you do,
I might think of it, but I do have another like that I wanted to bring up that's different is the music. I love jazzy music. I love blues kind of music. That's that's kind of one of my favorites. And I feel like but I really like the music. All the songs were really great. They had a lot of different like actual artists in the movie that are like actual singers, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And they had like actual guitar players and stuff like that. It really like they got all these people together to like do what they liked. It was really cool.
Yeah, yeah.
That's like a good way to explain it.
No, that is, yeah.
As far as dislikes go, this movie is really hard for me to find anything to dislike about it. Because once again, I'm not a professional movie critic, but if I had to personally choose anything different about what I didn't like about this movie, I can think of a lot of joke things I didn't like about the movie, but I feel like at some points, it's not a bad thing technically, but I feel like at some points they had too many characters. They had a lot of people. But that's part of the movie, I guess. It's like they had to introduce a lot of people that they have to go around and find. That's the purpose of the movie. They have to go and find around all these other people and meet all these other people. But sometimes I feel like they could have gotten rid of like one or two people in the movie, if that's like what I can say, where like they weren't too important.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I just realized we completely forgot to say spoiler warning.
I'm the one who gave that. Spoilers.
Dude, no, it's fine. We literally always do that. We completely forget to talk about the fact that this podcast is a spoiler. Okay. Spoiler warning.
Write that down on the document next time
yeah,
you guys have it ever.
I'm just going to have it like right there across my screen.
Like in bold lettering in all caps at the very top of the page it says give a spoiler warning.
Give a spoiler warning, right? Give a spoiler warning. Great. Okay. I'm gonna put that in red.
Okay. Put it, underline it, everything.
Oh yeah. It's like boom.
Just big across the screen, covering all of our faces. Spoiler.
yeah. At the beginning of the episode, I just put spoiler. Yeah. At the entire. Oh my god. All right. Okay. So, personally, what I liked about this movie is a lot of things. For one, yes, the humor was hilarious. I love the dry, like, just nonchalant humor that it has. That's my favorite type of humor. One of my favorite TV shows of all time that I've seen, like, 5 times over now is The Office. And that show has such a unique sense of humor.
I have never seen The Office.
Oh my god! Don't get me started.
I've seen like,
but I've never
seen parts of it. Never the full thing ever. But
Really?
I've seen some episodes and I've seen pieces and parts of other episodes, and I could say it is a really good show. It's just, again, some of it's dry.
I see what you mean. Yeah,
Well,
I've seen all 9 seasons 5 times now, and bro, I mean, like the humor in that show is just so dry because they carelessly try to be funny. Like they don't. It's not like they're doing slapstick, like not slapstick. What is it? They're not doing like stand up humor, like straight up jokes. Knock knock, who's there type of jokes where it's like it's just it's all in the words. It's more of what they do, their actions, and not even like trying to be funny, but they are funny. That's how I felt with watching the Blues Brothers. This movie, all the characters are, it seems like everyone is doing stuff that they think is completely normal, but we're watching and it's like, what is going on? I mean, what is happening? And that is what makes it so funny to watch. Of course, the best dynamic in this movie is when the girl, Princess Leia, I don't know, what's
Jake's
her
ex-wife, I don't know.
Jake's ex, Jake's ex. When she's trying to constantly kill them, and like
fire,
oh my god, pulls out the freaking
and atomic bombs.
Yeah, pulls up like the rocket launcher and just destroys the entire building they're in, literally collapsing.
They're still alive
on them.
Each time. They don't even like acknowledge it. They're
and
just
the best part,
work.
They don't even acknowledge it. They come out of the rubble and they just walk away like nothing happened.
They don't even say anything when like the first thing she does when she sees them is she she pulls out that rocket launcher. She like breaks the doors down and they like get up and they just look at each other and they go inside.
And then, they just brush it off, walk off. I mean, they don't even acknowledge anything. Not even that their building collapsed. Not even that they're even on the ground in the first place. Like it's just normal. Like it's just like passing by. Nothing's happening. It's great. That's definitely one of my favorite parts of the movie. Is just the humor definitely carries it. The live performance is another amazing part of the movie. That entire end sequence was really, really cool to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with like the concert and then the final chase scene. It's all like incredible. Really, really great stuff.
$10,000.
Yeah. No, I loved it. I'm not a fan of country. I'm not a fan. I despise country. But they did a scene in this movie kind of like based around country, and I actually really liked it. I guess it's because they did it in a way that, of course, it was more blues than country, but still, I really enjoyed it. That's what this movie did. It actually made me enjoy it and appreciate it. Because they actually did the live performances in this movie really genuine, and they were actually really good. Like they were actually shows that I would go to pay to see, which is pretty cool. But good movie. I'm gonna have to say the same thing. I can't think of anything to say I dislike. I guess one thing I dislike about the movie is just something they did in the story. They didn't. I can't remember who it was. When Elwood didn't go back to the motel for that
I was so
girl.
mad at that as well. The first time I watched that movie, I was like, Elwood never got that girl.
That's upsetting. Yeah, that's actually the only dislike I really can say is because I feel like there could have been more there. They both a big part of this movie, like a big like under theme, I don't know, something weird was like love, and they
Yeah.
sang it at the concert too, like a song about love and stuff. And of course, there was the big story with Jake's ex, but Elwood didn't really have anyone except for that girl that he randomly meet. And I feel like it wasn't really good to put that in the movie without fulfilling that and them actually meeting later. I thought it would have been cool, but I don't know. That's just me.
If I can bring up another point around love in that movie is that, you know, the part where they go to the diner and it's like the one lady who sings like the freedom song and stuff. It's like a Matt Guitar Murphy, I think that's the guy's name. His wife, she's like, "Are you gonna stay here with me, or are you gonna go off and do tours or whatever with these guys?" And he's like, "Don't tell me what to do. I'm gonna go do it. Goodbye."
Yeah, just
He
completely.
leaves her with no hesitation.
No hesitation. Yeah. That was that's a funny scene. Yeah. But that's my only complaint. I feel like that wasn't a very whole theme in the movie. I feel like there was a lot of missing parts there that didn't really feel fulfilling. But I guess that's life. I don't know. Maybe that's just like the genuineness of the movie. It's just showing you.
You need to like maybe it's like you need to love your family more than you love other people. Like
maybe.
Like,
I don't know.
They always stuck together as brothers or whatever. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. And I gotta say that's another. I guess another like. I really love their like the whole Blues Brothers thing. I mean, I just love how they wear suits and glasses the entire movie. It makes it so much more rewarding and exciting when he finally takes off his glasses at the end of the movie, because it's like, oh wow, it's an actual person, because you forget, because they look like they're like robots or something, because like they just genuinely wear the same thing constantly.
You can't see their expressions.
You can't see their their eyes or anything.
They even comment on that in the movie. Like there's one part where like some other members of the band, they're like, "You've been wearing the same black suits and sunglasses for like the last 3 months or 3 years or something."
Yeah. And I like that. That's a cool thing to trademark the movie. I don't know what this is based off of. I don't know if this is based off a book or like an actual band or something. I don't know the story of this movie, but it's cool. It's a cool vibe. I really enjoyed that. I think McKenna is looking it up, so let's see what it says.
I thought that my dad told me that this might have been on Broadway at one point, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'll have to look that up as well. I don't know if McKenna's looking up something, but
that's cool.
So I don't know if Google's correct.
Okay.
Because sometimes it could be a little misleading, but the Blues Brothers are an American blues and soul revue band founded in 1978 by comedians Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi, who began collaborating as original cast members of Saturday Night Live. A common misconception is that the act also originated on SNL.
What?
So The Blues Brothers, however, was an independent project of Belushi and Aykroyd, first appearing as the opening for act comedian Steve Martin. Martin later appeared on Saturday Night Live as a host, and the Blues Brothers appeared as the musical guest.
They're an actual band.
Yeah, that's what my dad told me.
Oh, well then, yeah, that's what I was asking. That's
Is
cool.
that they were on like Saturday Night Live. They were characters that were created by them.
Wow. Oh my god. And then they just made a... Oh my god. That's so
That's
cool.
just a memory.
Yeah. It's actually really sad how John Belushi ended up like dying because
Yeah.
he died... Oh my god, when was it? 82. When did the Blues Brothers come out?
It said on the back. It said 1980.
Yeah, 1980. So he died 2 years after the Blues Brothers came out, which
Is
is
that his last movie? That wasn't his last movie.
that had to have been. I mean, unless he was a very common actor at that time. Looking at the dates of all these movies, okay, it looks like he was in a couple other movies before he died, but it was like a 80. There's a couple of documentaries on him, but other than that, yeah, there's like 2 movies it looks like that he was in 1981, but then he died, which is really sad. I don't know how it was. I think it was drugs. I think it was an overdose.
Oh man.
Unfortunately, yeah, but that's crazy. That's crazy. It's
It
also
is,
cool. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I also looked it up. It was not on Broadway. That would have been
Mm.
cool if it was though. Seems like it would be.
That would be cool. Yeah. I don't know if the Blues Brothers are still around in some way, shape, or form because it looks like they have a website looking for young, talented Blues Brothers performers. Oh, okay. So it looks like there's you can apply to be like Blues Brothers, like actual
Yeah.
like singers for this. It's cool, and they have a bunch of merch. That's neat. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, Saturday Night Live. It's really cool how many actors got their start on Saturday Night Live. Like, a lot of comedic actors. I don't think we praise SNL enough, like, in today's world.
I absolutely love SNL. It's hilarious.
It's great. It's really
You should
great.
Saturday, watch SNL.
Yeah. It's... I never actually sit down and watch a full episode of SNL, ever,
You
but...
should. Oh, it's so funny. You
I
have to
see...
you have to watch the Weekend Update. Those are
Mhm.
really funny. Especially
Yeah.
when they do their joke swaps.
I've seen a couple of those. I've seen, like, clips, that's what I was going to say, of just, clips from the show. I've never seen it full all the way through. And I've seen a lot of old ones. Like, Adam Sandler, when he used to be on SNL, was great. He had a lot of really funny acts and songs. A lot of classics came from that. In my opinion, I don't think SNL is hitting as hard as it used to recently.
No.
In the newer, age. I don't know if there's anybody who could really get a start on SNL anymore. But there's still a few notable people as of recently who got their start on SNL. But it looks like they're just bringing a lot of famous actors. Like, who was just on? Jake Gyllenhaal. That was a really funny guest. I really like that. It's cool to see, like, normal actors appear on the show and be funny. Like, I forgot his name, but the literal guy from Knives Out. What's the detective? Benoit Blanc. He was
Oh no.
the
We
actor
just
for
talked
him.
about this too.
Yeah, I forgot his name, but the actor for him was on SNL, and you don't think he would be like a comedic actor, but I mean, guess Knives Out, he was kind of funny, but he was really funny. He's just such a naive guy. His character, Daniel Craig. That's it. Yep. Yeah. I always love that. It's great. And of course, Steve Carell, one of my favorite actors of all time.
They also had
Yeah.
now I forgot his name. Dang. Ryan Gosling.
Mm-hmm. Gotta love Ryan Gosling. Gotta love him. And not only that, but a lot of writers do come from SNL as well, which is really cool. Which I like. But it just makes you think, like, all these people, even all the way back to the 1980s with the Blues Brothers, this whole entire separate movie, the fact that they originated from SNL is crazy. I mean, that show seriously has such an important legacy in the history of cinema. It's actually wild and really cool. But yeah, we praise SNL here and hate Metacritic. So That's what's up.
Praise SNL, hate Metacritic.
Hate Metacritic.
That's your
Yeah.
catchphrase or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
That should be a part of the description. What
Yeah.
that like we write.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That'd be funny. Yeah. Yeah. We established the SNL Love Club, and make the hate club for Metacritic stronger than ever. Add to the add to the fire. Do you guys have any other favorite scenes or lines? I know we talked about a few of them, but any notable ones?
Yeah, I got something.
Okay, all right. So,
Yeah.
McKenna, go ahead.
It's at the very end, and this whole thing. After the burst of gunfire from Jake's ex, he climbs to his feet covered in mud from the tunnel floor. Good to see you, sweetheart. You contemptible pig. I remained celibate for you. I stood at the back of a cathedral waiting in celibacy for you, with 300 friends and relatives in attendance. My uncle hired the best Roman caterers in the state to obtain 7 limousines for the wedding party. My father used up his last flavor with Mad Pete Trollo. So for me, my mother, my grandmother, my father, my uncle, and for the common good, I must now kill you and your brother. Jake falls to his knees. Please don't kill us. Please don't kill us. You know I love you, baby. I wouldn't leave you. It wasn't my fault. You miserable slug. You think you could talk your way out of this? You betrayed me. No, I didn't. Honest. I ran out of gas. I had a flat tire. I didn't have enough money for cab fare. My tux didn't come back from the cleaners. An old friend came in from out of town. Someone stole my car. There was an earthquake. A terrible flood. Locust. It wasn't my fault. I swear to God. Elwood covers his head in anticipation of more gunfire, and Jake removes his sunglasses to make a wordless appeal. The mystery woman visibly softens. Jake. To Elwood. Let's go.
Let's go.
He just drops her.
It's so great. I know, when he drops her, that was so funny. All of
That's
that.
my dad's favorite part when he drops her.
And then Elwood
they
just
run away.
Take it easy.
Yeah, that entire scene where he's like making up a different excuses, that's so great. But this brings up just a random point to go off the rails again, because we're good at that in the show. When he said that, like, the whole story of him leaving her at the altar, and like when they're about to be married, he didn't show. Is that a common thing? Am I missing something? Because I was watching another movie that talked about that, was literally the Puss in Boots sequel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where it's explained
Softpaws.
that Puss left Kitty Softpaws at the altar when they were about to be married. What?
That also happened in like the second. Okay, this is also another random point. It happened in the second Angry Birds movie as well.
The Angry Birds movie. Why is that such a common?
I feel like it happened in another movie too, because I never heard of that happening like in real life.
No, seriously, I don't know where they get that from, because I swear to God, if anybody did that in real life, I mean, I know they had to happen if they're gonna put it in a movie. That's horrible. That's so bad.
Just to add layers to the characters.
I guess so. I mean, like, honestly, do people actually do that? It's like, how common is... Hold on, I need to look this up, because how common is it to leave someone at the altar? Because would you ever do that? How many people leave their partner at the...
I wouldn't do that if I was... That sounds terrible.
Newly released stats on divorces found 65% considered leaving their partner at the altar.
What?
And examines the reasons they went through with it. So
65%?
So, but that's just thinking about it. That's just thinking about leaving them at the altar and then ending up getting divorced. But does anybody actually do that? Some people have faced the painful experience of being left alone at the altar. So it's actually happened, but it's not as common. Oh. It's just I don't know. It's such a strange plot point. I don't know.
It always happens in movies.
I know. I don't know why they're so obsessed with that idea.
That trope.
It's such a weird trope. I don't know. I just found that interesting. That's kind of funny.
All right.
But, really funny. All right, Ava, you go ahead.
I have like 1 or 2 favorite scenes, because I always have multiple favorite scenes in movies, but I'll try to make it short so I don't take up too much time.
You're fine.
So in this, I'm trying to think, because there's a lot of scenes, but one of my favorite scenes is when they're like it's not the diner, it's the restaurant where they go to get their other friend. He like owns a fancy restaurant, And they go in there to like embarrass him so that he'll join the band again.
Yes, yeah.
And they and they get like the food, and then there's like these guys behind. There's like a family behind them, and he's like, "Can we move away from these two gentlemen?" And he's like, "Why are they bothering you?" He's like, "No, but they smell bad." And then Jake like looks over his shoulder, and he's like, "How much for the little girl? I want to buy your daughters."
Oh yeah.
That was great. I know. They went so unhinged. It's so funny.
It was so funny.
I feel like with some of the friends that I have now, if I were ever to become like a successful, like, I don't know, business or restaurant owner, I feel like they would absolutely do that. Like,
Oh, yeah.
that's definitely something that would happen. I mean, I don't know if to that extent, but it's really funny
I feel like
to see that.
Calvin, Will, and Finn.
Oh
I
my
feel like
God,
they would
all of them would,
100%.
all of them, yeah. Yeah.
But my other favorite scene in the movie is specifically the car chase with, I don't think I could say it on here, but it's with the blonde guy and the other guy in the car. They're in the red car, and they're chasing behind them.
Yeah.
And they purposely, because it made me laugh so hard. It's that like they like stop the car at like this. It's like a broken part of the road, and they like flip the car does a backflip over the other car, and then like the red car like it doesn't even fall. It like flies up into the air like the end of the Grease movie. That me and McKenna, remember when we watched the movie Grease, the musical,
Yes.
and it made no sense, and the car was like flying up into the air at the end. It's like that, and then it starts falling. It was the awkward silence, and then one of the guys in the car is like, "I have always loved you." That was the crazy.
I know, I love that part. I have always loved you.
Expression.
Yeah, I think to bring about the car chases that McKenna was saying while we were watching the movie is that they destroy so many cop cars and just things in general in that movie. They destroyed the entire mall. They destroyed like at least 100 cop cars in that
Like
movie.
how much they got to pay for that?
Oh, I looked up the budget if you want me to look it up.
$30 million is, I mean, it's not crazy, but for then, that's really high for back then for a budget. That's crazy. There's a lot of practical effects in this movie because I highly doubt there's a lot of VFX.
Just got a call from someone in Alabama.
Oh.
Okay.
And I got a voice.
Huh. I didn't know we have fans in Alabama.
Okay, but Gabe, do you have any favorite scenes that we didn't name already?
Oof. I gotta say that entire end scene where they're being chased and they're like in the elevator and the elevator's music playing and they're like running through and they're like, which way did they go? And they're like, they went that way. And then they storm everyone, the SWAT team, the police, literally everyone's storming up this. Oh, it's so great. That's such a funny scene.
And then by the very end, like they finally get the money in and then like put the handcuffs around them and there's like, and they all point their guns at them.
Yes,
And there's like a million of them in the room. It's crazy.
Yeah. That's funny. I really like that. That was a good scene. But yeah, other than that, any other you could think of? Because I mean, this entire movie, every single part of it was entertaining.
I can't think of any scenes, but I've got some like fun facts here next to me.
Okay. All right. Yeah, let's do it. Let's.
Some of these are kind of funny. Not gonna lie.
Okay.
This first one's not funny, but these next two are. I'm starting with the not funny one, but Carrie Fisher became engaged to Dan Aykroyd during the shoot shortly after he saved her from choking by applying the Heimlich maneuver.
Oh.
Whoa.
The one that plays Princess Leia, Carrie Fisher?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's cool.
These next two are kind of funny, though. So, John Belushi disappeared while filming one of the night scenes. Dan Aykroyd looked around and saw a single house with its lights on. He went to the house and was prepared to identify himself, the movie, and that they were looking for Belushi. Before he could, the homeowner looked at him, smiled, and said, "You're here for John Belushi, aren't you?" The homeowner told them Belushi had entered their house, asked if he could have a glass of milk and a sandwich, and then crashed on their couch. Situations like that prompted Aykroyd to affectionately dub Belushi America's guest.
America's guest.
He just walked in there. Hey, can I have a glass of milk?
Oh my God.
Just I didn't know. That's crazy.
That's so great.
Wait, that was some random person's house in the Midwest or whatever.
Yeah. John Belushi was nicknamed the Black Hole because he went through hundreds of pairs of sunglasses during production. He would do a scene, then lose a pair before filming the next one.
Sounds like me. I've lost like 3 pairs of sunglasses this month.
Oh wow. Dang.
Good.
Wait, I have one. The one of my favorite chase scenes in the movie, the mall chase scene, the car chase. It was shot in a real shopping mall. That was not a set. That was an actual shopping mall. It was filmed at the Dixie Square Mall in Harvey, Illinois, which had been shuttered in 1979 before filming commenced. And though the mall never reopened, it was finally tore down in 2013. So the mall actually stayed there for years. 1979 to 1979 to 2013. It was just empty, like just nothing. Isn't that weird? It's just a desolate mall there. I've always wanted to go to like an abandoned place because I know.
Same.
Yeah, I
We
know.
should all go to an abandoned house.
Right. I mean, I'm not gonna dox us, but based off of where we live, there's a lot of in this area. There's a lot of abandoned buildings and stuff, and it'd be cool to film in. That's for sure. That'd be really neat.
Me and my brother tried to go to a few
for
places.
one of our
Really? Wow.
for one of our like short films or something.
Mm-hmm.
Because we do some contests, like we have said previously, and have one with our film Paradox. We should try and like film in an abandoned place or something. That would be cool.
That would be really cool. Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be really.
I just don't. The reason I never like snuck into an abandoned place is that me and my brother would like find stuff. We'd like ride around town on our bikes. But the reason we never like actually went in one is because I was afraid someone would see me trespassing or something, and I'd get the police called on me.
Okay, can I? All right, hold on. Can I explain a story?
Okay, yeah, sure.
That's relevant to the. Well, I guess not the movie, but to this topic. It's fine. We do this all the time. That's the best part of a podcast because you really just. It's not only about the movie. The movie's just the base point. You really want to just talk about whatever you can, because it's entertaining and fun to talk about. But I've actually had that experience before, Ava, that you're talking about. So my cousin is he not anymore, but he used to be in college for film, and he was a part of a film school.
Oh.
Sorry, and he did a short film for his school for a project, and it was a horror movie, and he had me and my brother act in it, and it was really cool. So I don't have any pictures. I wish I did, but what it was is there's this abandoned laboratory near us. I don't know if you guys know about it, but there's this laboratory near us that is completely run down and abandoned, and I mean abandoned. The walls are falling apart. Very, very like debris everywhere. Graffiti everywhere. Completely dark in there.
We should have used that to record Flee the Facility or something.
Oh yeah, that'd have been cool. No, actually, seriously, that's true. That would have been cool. But no, we actually filmed there. But I don't know the laws or anything. It's iffy. But what we did is we went into there. They scoped it out before. It was completely dark, so we needed flashlights and stuff. It was crazy. And we filmed in there, and it was freezing because it was during winter. And the police were called while we were there. And they came while we were there. And we told them, it's for a student project. We're just filming something for a student project, all that stuff. And they actually had to talk to the police. But after some time, they said, okay, it's all right. We'll just have to stay here while you film just to be safe. Because it's a place where a lot of people go and, do stuff. So they just, it had to be better safe than sorry.
Okay.
And yeah, but as you said, the police did come. I don't know I don't know the laws and stuff, but you just say it's a student film. You say you're there to make a movie, and they're okay with it. They just let you be.
We should go demon. I can bring my very bright.
Yeah. You have your brightness of the sun.
Okay, I cannot shine it at the camera because I shined at my phone camera once, and it started. The camera started going fuzzy, so I don't think that was good.
Oh
I almost
God,
broke the camera. I'm pretty sure, so I'm not
that
doing.
flashlight is so bright.
You
Um,
call it like the sun.
It's like
yeah.
solar power, basically.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Like
battery.
it
9
contains
AA
the sun.
battery.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, 9
So the
AA
only
battery.
yeah. So the only problem with like filming at a public location, not public, well, yeah, a public building that's abandoned like that, is you want to make sure that's not owned by someone. I'm pretty sure we were fine because the laboratory wasn't owned by anyone; it was just public property. But if you go into a building that's owned by someone, you can be arrested for trespassing.
I
So
see.
you have to make sure you have like the permits and stuff to actually film there, even though it's abandoned. But just like the mall here in the Blues Brothers, I'm sure they had a whole process of getting access to that mall, even though it was abandoned.
Oh yeah. Um, and can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Was it your cousin that made the
hmm
short film? Did he ever win any like awards or anything for it? Was in like a contest or anything?
No, I don't know what he did. Unfortunately, um, he's I don't know what he's doing. He's trying to figure out what he wants to do in life.
Mm.
But he's like he didn't. He dropped out of the film school. He now like he works from home and stuff, and he just does freelancing shoots here and there. He films like wrestling matches and stuff.
Oh, okay.
But he never submitted that to any festivals, unfortunately. But
I see.
yeah, it was cool though. The short film was pretty cool. If I find it, I'll send it to you. But it's like lost media. I don't know where it is.
All right. Well, let's go back to like fun. Were we doing fun facts?
Yeah, fun facts.
Kind of read them off
I don't know if
Hold on.
now. I'm just kidding. Take your time.
Wait, while you're looking, I have one more. Apparently, John Belushi was paid twice as much as Dan Aykroyd for the Blues Brothers.
Really?
He earned $500,000 for his work in the movie, and Aykroyd only earned $250,000. So
That's
I don't know.
sound. Oh my
I don't know
goodness.
why there was a difference there. That's
Wait,
it's-
was Jake Blues more of a main character?
that's
I
an
feel
interesting
like it
point,
was.
right? I don't know. I really don't know.
It begins with him.
But Dan Aykroyd, Elwood, he has a lot of solo, scenes as well. I mean, of course, like the entire scene with him meeting that girl at the gas station and stuff, and they go back and forth. I think they're both equally main characters, that's for sure. But it's pretty interesting.
But John Belushi got paid more.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he was maybe John Belushi was like a more prestigious actor at the time. I don't know when Ghostbusters came out, like the first one, but that's pretty interesting.
All right, I got 3.
Okay.
So, Murphy Dunn is the son of the then president of Cook County Board, George Dunn, who helped convince the Chicago mayor, Jane Byrne, to allow filming at the Daly Center, which is the last whole sequence scene that you see everyone chasing them. And
Oh, yeah.
but I'm going back to that, and then I'll do the last one, because this also applies to that.
Okay.
Over 500 extras were used for the next to last scene, the blockade of the building at the Daly Center, including 200 National Guardsmen, 1 state and city police officers with 15 horses for the mounted police, and 3 Sherman tanks, 3 helicopters, and 3 fire engines.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. I got it.
I was wondering how many, because the amount of people in the movie is also insane. How much?
Oh, yeah.
Because I was wondering how many people did they have in that movie, and then like especially at the end, because there was a lot of people at the end.
Yeah, as someone who has been I know 500 is crazy. As someone who has been an extra and a background actor for 2 movies now.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and I'm sure anybody could guess this, but personally I know that you have to tend for every single extra. Like the movie I was in had a lot of extras, but it was only like 25, and there was a whole room for us, a lot of food, and they had us individually dress every single one of us before we were on set. They had to make sure they had all of our sizes down, and then while we were on set, they had to make sure all of us were accounted for and doing the right thing. Imagine doing that for 500 people. That's 500 different costumes, different people that you have to direct. I mean, huge respect. How did they do that? That's actually insane.
A lot of time, lots of patience.
Seriously.
Lobbying
Wow.
from the Italian American community ensured the line "The Mafia's out there" was redubbed to "The Mob's out there" while the film was shown on television. So going back to what we said earlier,
Hmm.
um, with Ava saying she doesn't remember she's seeing that scene, the things can change, and that's proof of that right
Oh,
there.
I
that's
see.
interesting.
Changing dubbed lines where films on television versus if it's on DVD versus somewhere else or like a streaming platform.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah, there are some movies that do that, that they have to like censor it and there's different cuts on TV.
Oh yeah.
Like I was watching Guardians of the Galaxy and you know that scene in the first Guardian, I don't know if you've seen it, but in the
I
first
haven't
Guardians of
seen
the
it since
Galaxy,
Galaxy.
wow. Wait, McKenna, have you?
The original, yeah.
Okay. Do you know the scene where he's like doing this and he holds up the middle finger when Chris Pratt does that when he's in jail for the first time? Do you remember that scene?
Yeah.
In the original like movie on like in theaters, he actually like does that and sticks up his middle finger. But in the TV version, they like edited it so that he doesn't do that. It's really weird. They that is a common thing that you know on TV they edit out scenes because it's not appropriate
Oh,
for all audiences. So
I've got.
very well could have done that for this movie.
But
Oh, I didn't
Wait.
know this one either.
Okay, hold on. Let Ava go first real quick.
I was gonna bring up something that's funny about like TV censoring because sometimes they
Uh-huh.
censor things that, in my opinion, don't need to be censored. Like, let me give an example. So I was watching Back to the Future on demand TV,
Oh yeah.
and there's this one part where Michael J. Fox or Marty, like, there's two parts. There's like one where like Doc goes once this hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious that word.
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And they replaced it with you're gonna see some serious stuff.
Oh, interesting.
And then later, like Marty also says, "Holy shit!"
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And they replaced it with the worst possible thing. He goes, "Holy jeez!
Oh, what the heck?
Holy jeez!
What?
Holy jeez!"
Is it like a completely different take, or is it just it's just
No,
dubbed over?
It's the same take. It's dubbed over.
What the heck? How did
It's
they
like
even
so
do that?
unnoticeable too. It's so funny. You need to watch the on-demand version
That's really funny. That is funny.
because it does.
Interesting. Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
don't know why they do that.
So yeah, McKenna, go on.
Just before the good old boys RV drives into the river, it passes by a building whose sign reads "Mr. Bill's Barbecue," referring to the popular, again, Saturday Night Live 1975 short.
Oh,
Ah, that's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, I like how many references they left. That's neat. 1985.
1985.
Wait. The what year short?
75.
Oh, 70. Okay, I thought you said 85 because the movie was the movie was released in the 80s. I was like, how did they reference something in the future? No, that makes sense.
No.
75.
They
That's
went
cool.
back to the future.
Yeah. Oh, hey. See what you did there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have any more fun facts. I think we've
I
fun
don't know if
facted
I
up.
could pull up any because
I think the coolest thing about this movie is just how genuine like they filmed everything because of course during that time there's very there's very limited VFX of what you could do. I know a lot of like the car scenes they were on a green screen, you could definitely tell.
yeah.
But not like all of the scenes with the cars flying in the air and like stuff and like the people running, like that's real extras, that's real cars, that is real buildings they had to use, and they filmed in Chicago, which is one of the busiest cities in America, and they filmed an entire movie. So I don't know, honestly, I don't know how they did it. I don't know. There had to be a lot of shutting down roads and a lot of planning because wow. I mean, we saw recently with our city that's near us, they were filming a movie and they shut down a lot of like major roads and stuff. And it's just, you know, it's because they have to have the, you know, they have to have a controlled environment for the movie. So imagine doing that on this big a scale for this movie in Chicago. I mean, that's crazy. That's really cool. Major respect for this movie. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in, talking about the Blues Brothers. Please be sure to watch the movie yourself if you haven't already. It is a amazing, really funny movie. You can see it on Prime Video. You can rent it. Like, that's actually what we did. And then anywhere else you can rent and buy movies. And then, of course, you can get a physical copy of it yourself. But please be sure to check out The Blues Brothers. Great movie. Great movie. And thank you for joining our discussion on it. Thank you, Ava, for joining us this episode. It's been an honor.
Of course,
having
yeah. It was really cool being on Weekly Cinema.
Weekly Cinema, yeah.
I've been on a podcast before, and I don't usually listen to a lot of podcasts, so it was interesting, like, being on one and just talking, like, having a normal conversation while a lot of people are going to be hearing it.
yeah. Where other people around the world get to listen in, yeah. So we'll definitely have you in the future, that's for sure.
Okay, cool. I'll let you know.
If you're ever available.
I'll let you know if I have any movies I want you guys to see. My mom suggested she really wants you guys to do Goonies or like the Back to the Future series for a few. Right. We need to do like a movie we haven't seen. I feel like.
We'll try and do a movie we haven't seen before. We'll talk about that. But anyway, so thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. Yeah.
You might see Ava join in the future. Maybe not this season, maybe the future. Because last season we only had one guest, and that was Mike. And now we have Ava. So.
Oh, I'll be back. Of course, I'll be back.
I heard that.
I always come back. Yeah. Maybe in the far senior year season, she could join us for Five Nights at Freddy's 2. That's true.
Oh yeah.
With you.
Yeah. All right. But anyways, so thank you guys for tuning in. Please check out the Blues Brothers and tune in next week when we will be discussing
Deadpool 2. We have done the first one. We are going to do the second one in preparation for this third one, Deadpool and Wolverine, coming out, and then we will discuss the third one with you guys as well.
Right.
But we got to do number 2 first, because it makes no sense to do 1, 3.
Right. Yeah, if you guys don't remember, last season we talked about Deadpool 1, just like we kind of said. So, yeah, we're going to do Deadpool 2 next, and then, of course, when we watch Deadpool 3, we're going to do that right after, because, I don't know, you'll see, we'll talk about it, but that's next episode. But for now, thank you for tuning in, thank you, Ava, for joining us. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell, and check us out on Spotify for exclusive episodes that you don't see here, bonus episodes. And be sure to follow us, rate us out of 5 stars, helps the podcast out. But until then, that's all. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you all next week in the next episode. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
See ya.